Guys, in this video, I wanted to take a few minutes to focus on your grip. If you do not have a proper grip on your gun, you're not going to be able to control it as effectively and be as accurate in your shots as you should be. So I wanted to take a few minutes to focus just on that. I had mentioned it before in several of the videos, but I wanted to make this video just about the way that you need to grip your pistol. Now, of course, we are completely safe here. There's nothing in the magazine and there is nothing in the chamber of this gun. Now, when you grip your pistol, the first thing that you want to do is you want to make the gun an extension of your arm. You want to have that gun in line with the bone in your arm. You do not want to have it where it is cocked around like this or like that. You want to have it just as an extension. Just if you were going to be pointing at something, that is how you want the gun to be lined up in your hand. You want that webbing that is between your thumb and finger to be right in the middle of the back strap on that gun. You also want to be as high as possible on the back strap of the gun. That way it's going to give you a little bit better control and recoil management, because a gun is basically like a lever. The further you are away from that twisting point, from that recoil, from where that round is going to go off, the more it's going to twist on you. So if you can get up here as close as possible, right in line with that bore axis as much as possible, the gun is going to have more of a push backwards instead of having that muzzle flip. You're going to get a lot more muzzle flip if you do not have a proper grip on your gun, because your hand is going to be further away from that bore axis. So make sure that you get up underneath there as much as possible. But you do not want to get your grip so high that it's going to be interfering with the action. Make sure that your hand does not, or any of the meat of your hand, your thumb or anything, make sure it does not get above that slide. I have seen new shooters come to my classes and do some pretty interesting things. Of course, in the class, it's just as a demonstration. We will show a lot of things not to do. But at the range, the first time that we go to the range, I have occasionally seen some to when they grip their gun, they would do something very improper and something that could get them hurt. I've seen people grip guns like this. I've seen people grip them like that. I've seen even one guy actually done something like this. And of course, in each situation like that, it's an improper grip, and it's also a way that you can hurt yourself. That gun can bite you when that action comes back, so you want to make sure that you keep your grip down below the slide. Also, on this particular gun, you can see that I have the beaver tail installed. I actually did a video a while back about installing the beaver tail on one of these. It's not something that I necessarily have to have, but I like it because of the intended purpose that I use these guns. It helps me to get my proper grip a little bit faster. So that's something to think about as well when you go to buy a gun, or the gun that you may have. You may want to get some type of an adapter where you can put a beaver tail on it. Really up to you. It just depends on you and how you shoot. Your hand, your primary hand, wrap it all the way around, again having that meat of that hand, that webbing just right there in the middle of that back strap. You're going to have just a little bit of an opening between your fingers and then back here where your thumb is, and that's where you're going to take your support hand and you are going to press it into that opening, and then roll your fingers around that gun to where you do not have any gaps or anything. I do see people occasionally, they'll come over here like this, there'll be a little bit of a gap in there. You do not want that gap. You want to fill in that gap with your hand. As you are gripping that gun, you want to keep your wrists straight. You can see here my thumbs are parallel to the way the gun is, and a proper grip is something that's going to help you to overcome a little bit of error in your trigger control. We see people online on different YouTube videos all the time talking about your grip, about how your trigger control is not as critical. I disagree with that. I think the trigger control is still very important, even with the gun in a virtual vise with your hands. You know, that strong, proper grip, if you have that proper trigger control, you are still going to make a much more accurate shot. There's people that do a lot of wild things out. I've actually seen where people would have someone else come along and with a screwdriver or something like that, as someone is holding a gun, smack that trigger and they would still get shots on target. But those shots would be much more accurate with that proper trigger control. And I'm going to link to a friend of mine's video, Buffalo Outdoors. He recently did a video where he was shooting a snubby revolver at a distance of 50 yards. And a lot of people talk about how that the snubbies are not very accurate, especially at long range. But as Buffalo points out in that video, it's all about the fundamentals. And I'll link that video down below. So go over to Buffalo's channel and check that out. But guys, this is just a video that I wanted to do to get just a little bit more into the fundamentals, especially for you guys that are out there that are new to firearms. I work with new shooters very regularly, and I wanted to put this video out there to give you just a little bit better understanding of getting a proper grip on your gun. But anyways, guys, let me hear from you. Are you a new shooter? Is this something that you are not doing that you believe that will help make improvements in your accuracy? Let me know down in the comments below, and I promise you it will. If you have a proper grip on your gun, you're going to do much better. And something I don't want to forget to mention, when you do grip your gun, you want to have a slight forward pressure with your primary hand and then a slight back pressure with your support hand. And what that does is it really helps to lock down that gun to keep it from movement. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the links down in the description. Check out Buffalo's video. Be sure to visit my website at boomsticktactical.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.